Shabbat shalom.
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 What is going on? Wow.
Beginning in a minute or two, just getting us onto Facebook right now.
People coming in
That's
now.
good.
We're good on YouTube. I just got the announcement.
I forgot how to do like
We are
YouTube and
great
and
on
Facebook.
YouTube.
Take care of this.
Hello, Larry and Eve. How are you?
Doing it.
I'm Alan. Hello,
we're
Stephanie.
well.
Hello, Howard.
Shabbat shalom.
And Nicole.
Hey, Howard.
Hi.
Hey, Rabbi.
Shabbat
Hello there.
shalom.
Oh, Bob.
Hi,
Shabbat
Stephanie.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Just gonna wait for Ezra to come down. We'll do some blessings. Everyone's doing well.
Everyone looks very dry this evening, despite all the weather today.
We're not dry here.
We're dry.
No, we're not. Hey,
But we're inside. We're dry.
We're not ready yet.
Right.
Isabel, I'll be worried if you are wet and you are inside.
Yeah.
Nan would not let me inside if I was soaking wet.
Yeah, well, if you were soaking wet and you're still here for Shabbat, I am very proud of you. I think that makes every effort.
Hey, it was barely raining when we left my house to go to Nana's. So I was
Okay.
totally drenched.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Thanks for coming on for our table blessings as we bring Shabbat together with candles, kiddush, motzi. When we are able to celebrate one of our young people becoming bar mitzvah, we always like to give that person and their family the honor. And although, what Avi said to me a couple weeks ago, he said, well, on the day that I was supposed to do this, I did the blessings already. I said, yes, but now tomorrow is the real day, so we're going to do them again. So I would like to invite to lead us in the blessings, the candles, and the wine and the challah, Avi Briskin, Karen Briskin, and Ezra Briskin. And I guess I'll join you. We are on page 3 or 121.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Should we read this?
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hollows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Right. Avi, would you like to lead us in Kiddush? Do you want to stand up? When you stand up, you can hold this. You have to stand up so you can. There you go. There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher Kishana b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, b'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila, lemikrae kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'ahava uvratzon, yinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh Shabbat.
We'll take a moment to bless our children, whether they are next to us with us or whether holding them in our hearts. So either for real or virtual, we'll bless them. There you go.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'kunecha.
May God's face shine brightly upon you and be very good to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
And may God reach out with the gifts of love, of joy, of happiness, and of peace. Amen.
Amen.
All right, so who's got some nice challah with them? Either store-bought or home-baked? Double points for home-baked. There you go. Why don't we all unmute ourselves and we can all join in the blessing together. So unmute yourselves.
You should cut it. Okay.
No, it's all right.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi b'chein haaretz Shabbat Shalom.
You cut a piece?
Okay.
Pay a bone to those who are having.
No, there. Oh, your little piece.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Feel free just to hang out, take yourselves off mute for a few minutes and converse with those who are around. Wish everyone Shabbat Shalom. Want to put something in the chat, maybe put in the chat something, the highlight of the week, or something that you're looking forward to for the Shabbat. You can just communicate with each other with words or with the text. And our service will formally begin in about 7 minutes,
Yeah, fine.
Now we can start.
Okay.
Hi, Margie, and hi, Linda. Hi, Eve and Larry.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Krauses. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Hi, Alan.
Larry and Eve and Arthur. Alan and Marilyn.
Hey,
Krauses.
hi, Ann, how are you?
Hi, Schoenbergs.
Ellie and Ed.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, Ellie.
Ann, how are you?
Hi, Ann.
Hi.
Why don't we mute that for?
Oh, hi.
You didn't recognize me with my long.
No, I
Hi,
didn't.
Howard. Hi, Alan.
I didn't recognize you.
Shalom. Shalom.
How you doing?
Alan.
How are you?
Doing fine. Probably doing fine.
Good, man.
When'd you get back?
The 21st of March.
Oh, okay. Early. Okay.
Yeah, we came home early. When it got started getting bad, we left.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
What's with the one over there? Anything left in here?
One away. There you go. Here's Harriet.
What did you ask for?
I'm gonna go now.
Right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
guess I'm gonna put in the chat room for the whole store.
Remember, everybody can hear you.
No background.
Hi, Judy.
Eleanor.
Turn your hands up. Bill, Merle, hi.
Alan.
Where's your son?
He's out tonight. He's here for another couple of weeks.
Too much for him, huh? We were too much.
No, he really enjoyed it. So I hope everybody.
We enjoyed him. He was good.
He's pretty passionate.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was a good program. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next week. Thanks, Ellie.
It was very good.
You got a thumbs up from a lot of us, Ellie.
Hi, Harriet.
Hey, Rabbi, can you make me a co-host before we start?
Sounds like Morse code.
I think so. I think it's supposed to be opening in a week or two. Yeah.
Maybe it's this weekend.
Thank you.
Is Becky still a co-host though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just as long as both of you are.
Sorry, I'm late.
Jody.
Hello.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Trying to look for that thing that says speaker.
Well, everybody said it was going to be up there on the left, right?
It was here last week.
Oh.
If you hit the screen, it should come back.
I wanted back.
My daughter is still in Minneapolis.
Who?
Stevens.
Dunny,
Bunny. Somebody's saying Bunny.
Hi, whoever that was.
Dunny, are you on an iPad?
No, I'm not on an iPad. I'm on my computer.
All right,
I'm
got
asking
him,
Dunny.
Yes, Dunny is on an iPad.
Okay. Hi, Becky. I like your hairstyle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now you're getting to look like Lindy and me with our white hair.
Exactly.
And I love it. You go,
Look
girl.
great.
I wanted to look like you. That's what I told them.
Looks great.
Exactly what I told them.
Now you
So quick show of hands. How many people have gotten their cut or styled or been to your place in the last week or two? Is that what we're doing? We're going back? That's like the first thing, right? So.
Yep. First thing.
Anyone back to the salon for manicures or pedicures yet, or is it still too soon?
Oh,
I've been back.
I'm back.
I've been back.
Yeah, my kid's place. They cut my hair.
It was wonderful. Felt very safe.
I can
Lots
make
of
it.
masks.
How to get a haircut?
They're not on mute anymore.
I decided I'd rather do it myself.
My
hairdresser.
We're doing it ourselves too.
Hi, Barb.
Cut, color, and nails. Hey, Dunny.
Right.
Hey, Deb.
Hi, Barb.
Hi, Debbie.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Bieber.
Hi, Beaver.
Hey, Beaver.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Ann.
hi, Barbara Ross.
Jerkins, did you float away in all that rain today?
Goodness. We have a rainbow.
That's always good.
Very nice.
Will you share in that pot of gold that's at the end of it?
Of course.
Hey, Sheldon.
Oh, the chicken soup.
Folks, I'm gonna
Hi, Barbara Cone.
I'm gonna mute.
Trying to stay awake.
Hi, Debbie and Don.
Hi.
Hi, Linda Canner. How are you?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Good.
Wonderful.
So,
Barbara, where's Lenny?
he's washing his glasses so that he can get to see everybody.
Barbara, I already finished the dishes, so I got here.
He's washing his glasses.
Oh, I thought you meant the dinner glasses.
Meeting is now streaming live on YouTube.
Everybody knows, Donnie, that comes after service.
Oh.
All right, folks, I'm going to mute everyone.
Hi,
We're
Alan.
I'll take it in.
All right. Sorry to mute everyone. I know it's always uncomfortable.
Rabbi, you have to unmute yourself.
Because the host muted me. so all right. Good to see everyone and Shabbat Shalom. To see all these faces here, and I hope everyone had a good Shabbat last week. It was nice to be off for Shabbat, and it's good to be back. And just as folks know, throughout the course of the summer, what we would typically do if we were meeting in person is that 1 week it might be the cantor, 1 week it might be me, 1 week it might be both of us. So you will have at least one of us every Shabbat, and sometimes both of us, like tonight. So it is great to be here as we say goodbye to this rainy, foggy day. Hopefully we'll have a little bit of sun tomorrow, and let's be able to enjoy a nice Shabbat and a nice weekend. Just a reminder that if you are having any technical difficulties, please just send a chat directly to Becky Markowitz or Jody Friedman. They'll be able to help you with technical pieces. If there's a time to unmute, we'll let you know to just do that yourself and then to mute yourselves back again. And let's begin on page 16 or 134 in the single volume as we sing this familiar melody from Psalm 98, Zamru Ladonai Bechinor.
Zamru Ladonai Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra. 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 Zamru Ladonai Bechinor, Bechinor, B'kol Zimra.
If we can't be in spot in northern Israel to welcome the Sabbath bride into our midst the way that the Kabbalists did centuries ago, we just bring Tzfat and the Sabbath bride into our homes with the words of Lecha Dodi. We're on page 20, which corresponds to page 138. We'll sing together as we welcome the Sabbath bride, verses 1, 2, and 9.
Lecha Dodi, Likat Kazma, Lenik Shabbat, Likabela. Lecha Dodi, Likat Kazma, Lenik Shabbat, kala pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likat kala pene Shabbat nekabela.
Readings tonight will be shared from this book called The Gentle Weapon, some readings from Rebbe Nachman of Bratslav. One true word. Oh dear God, for once let me call out to you with one true prayer. Let me think one pure thought, cry one genuine cry, pray one absolutely sincere prayer to you, dear God. And so as we enter into our formal worship, the call to worship with the words of Baruch Hu, let's find that one sincere prayer that we can offer tonight. Baruch Hu is on page 28 or 146.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
On page 32, we share a prayer for the gift of Torah with abundant gratitude for this gift, the gift of our community, a community rooted in these sacred words, rites, and traditions. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
continue on page 36 or 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
A kavanah, an intention before our nighttime prayer of Hashkivenu, prayer that asks God to protect us and guard us through the night. Rabbi Nachman writes, loving God, protect me with your love. Prevent others from viewing me with hostility. Never allow the negativity of others to influence my life or affect my destiny. We'll sing together Hashkivenu on page 42, which corresponds to page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Keep us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
And a thought, another kavanah before we enter into our time of personal prayer. God of life, help me pray with all the force I can muster. If only I could invest all my energy into each word, even into every letter of my prayers. I know that it would give me renewed strength, renewed spirit. Prayer to the Almighty is my life, says the psalmist. Please help me pray. So as we take a few moments for our own personal prayer, I invite you to please feel free to pray the words of the traditional tefillah, beginning after we enter together, but beginning on page 48, which corresponds to page 166. It goes all the way through page 62, which corresponds to page 180. Those are the words that are in the book that are part of our liturgy, but feel free as well just to offer the prayers that come from the heart. If you're in a place where you can and it is comfortable to stand, I invite you to do so. You can also remain seated if that's more comfortable. We'll enter in together with the words of Adonai, Sevatai, Tiftach.
Adonai, Sevatai, Tiftach. Adonai, Sevatai, Tiftach. Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Adonai, Sevatai, Tiftach. Adonai, Sevatai, Tiftach. Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha.
Please pray silently.
Goodbye, okay?
Ose shalom Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma. Uyase shalom aleinu. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu le'akol Yisrael. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu le'akol Yisrael. Ose shalom bimromav. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav. Uyase shalom aleinu. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu le'akol Yisrael. Yase shalom.
It's so nice to have that technology that allows us to hear the familiar musical stylings of Eric Schnitzer, whose playing we have so missed over these last few months. So thank you, Cantor, for getting the technology and beginning to master it so we can bring that music in, week out. We take a few moments now to turn our thoughts and our prayers to those whom we love, family members, friends who are in need of God's healing. Think not only and pray not only for those who continue to battle chronic illness. Think of those who still have contracted COVID or continue to recover from it, both the physical and the psychological effects of it. And we think of all who just need some extra prayer, extra support to help them through times of difficulty and trouble. So we'll just take a couple of moments to share names. I invite you please to type the names of those who you want to remember by name. I'll read the names aloud. And then afterwards, we'll just go through the screen and let Becky just run through and invite anyone who was not able to type in a name just to raise their hand, and we will call on you. This Shabbat, we pray for the health and healing of Dove Novick, Ariel Novick, Annette Frazier, Flora Day, Katrina Brannigan, Gary Nankin, Richard Dutkin, Mark Spicer, Edwin Kraus, Sherry Katz, Bonnie Schwartz, Dan Bennett, Edwin Siegel, Gina Stover, Sally Marriott, Nancy Cohen, Linda Rowitz, Harry Tankin, Rose Paley, Barbara Paley Cohen, Zach Hirsch, Michaela Hirsch, Seth Cohen, Nathan Spitz, Jen Milch, Ken Hinkey, Karen Levenberg, Les Handler, Sue Leibowitz, Flory Krivet, David Tell, Sid Ozer, Mindy Maslin, Freddie Jimenez, Donna Albanese, Phil Falkowitz, Jim Harper, Jill Ostro, Jamie Lefkowitz, Melinda Licardello, Debbie Bitterman, Gary Luck, Leonard Sheffs, Carolyn Austin, the Petrellis family, Rabbi Terry Bookman, Rita Levin, Blanche Rackety, Barbara Polanski, Dina Steinberg, Albert Firestone, Dara Foster Storch, Esteban Mazar, Lou Fleischer, Mark Walker, Melody Ashby, Gary Knight, Michael Sachs, Theo Spiegler, Eli Ben Aharon, Mordechai Mahone, Randy Fair, Mordechai Greenstein, the Schlossberg family. Those are all the names that have come up on the chat. If you would like to add a name, I invite you to please just raise your hand and Becky will call you, or I'll call you. I see Dunny, if you want to just unmute yourself for a moment and add a name.
Sorry. Barbara Rosenberg and Joan Woodland. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wanted to add a name?
I don't see anybody, Rabbi.
I'll also add the name of Rabbi Rob Nosenchuk. For all those named and those whose names we continue to hold in our hearts, we pray these words together of Mishaberach. You can find the words if you need them on page 253, which corresponds to 371.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Lahimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Rabbi, you are muted.
Rabbi, you're muted.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I got it. See, when I can't see myself on the screen, I don't know that I'm muted. Now you can hear me, correct? Exactly. Okay.
Hear you now.
Good. All right. So you can see this. I was saying that the screen share was working for this now. It didn't seem to be working for the Misha Berach list before, so I apologize for that. But I just want to share this text as this is going to frame part of our Devar Torah, I think. Hold on one second. I just realized something about the technology, because if I go like this, are you seeing this right now? My drash? Becky, are you seeing the drash right now?
Yes, we see Levi Yitzhak of Berta.
Okay. Okay, but you don't see the thing that says Shabbat Shalom. Really, you don't see my text in front of you, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay, good. Okay, now I'm learning. I can share the text that I want to learn, and also be on a different screen to read right off the screen. It's like I have my own teleprompter. So
life is good.
Life is very good as you kind of, take a week away from technology and get this. Okay, so you can see the text there. So Shabbat Shalom. Earlier this week, my Chavruta partner and I studied the text that you see in front of you. I had the opportunity and privilege as well to share it with leaders throughout the greater Philadelphia region this morning on the weekly leadership call with the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia. And while that call was a lot of rabbis, executive directors, temple presidents and whatnot, I do think that this text that I'll share and go through really pertains to all of us, because I believe that Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev has much to teach us. So we're going to take a look at chapter 27 of the book of Numbers from this week's parashah called Pinchas. Now, in these verses, we begin to see how the leadership of the Israelites will transfer from Moses to Joshua. Moses is concerned about the future of the people he has led for the last 40 years and understands that they will need a different type of leader who can rise to the new challenges that the Israelites will face when they enter the promised land. And so this Hasidic text from a collection called Kiddushat Levi, written in the late 18th century, I think has a lot to teach us today, still 200 years later. Levi Yitzchak comments on the verses that articulate the character traits that Moses desires for his successor. On the text on the screen you see, may Yud-He Vav-He, God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint a leader over the community to be in front of them, coming and going, so that they will be led as they come and go, and God's community will not be like shepherdless sheep. Levi Yitzchak writes, a principle to derive from these verses, we should tend towards seeing the Jewish people in a good light, even when they aren't doing God's will constantly like angels, on account of their need to work in order to make a living. Angels, malachim, are constantly doing God's work. While our aspiration as human beings is to be like malachim, angels, always doing God's will constantly? Too often we fail. Sometimes the general work and responsibilities of day-to-day living distract us from doing God's will constantly. Abraham was an exemplar of chesed, Levi Yitzchak continues. He saw people in a good light. That is why he gave the angels food to show them that flesh and blood humans required it, so that they wouldn't see the Jewish people in a bad light. And Levi Yitzchak now draws upon a verse from Parashat Korach. And you might be losing the words on your screen. I'll try to get there in a second. Moses said, God, God of all the spirits of all flesh. This was to emphasize that flesh and blood humans need to earn a living. And so there are times when they don't serve God constantly. And this reference to God, God of all the spirits of all flesh, is from Korach's rebellion, which we read and learned about a couple of weeks ago. Moses and Aaron fell on their faces, still trying to stand up for the rebellious faction who were being seen in a bad light and who were serving themselves rather than God. Even so, Moses and Aaron tried to see them in the best possible light. Levi Yitzchak continues, Yud-He Vav-He, God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint, meaning appoint a leader who will see the Jewish people in the best possible light. Just as you, God, see humanity in the best possible light, even when they don't serve you with perfect constancy, so too, Moses asked, set a leader over the Jewish people who will always see them in the best possible light. May Yud-He Vav-He, God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint, just as you are God of the spirits of all flesh, always seeing them in the best possible light, so should you appoint a leader over the community. The Jewish people's leader ought to see them in the best possible light. So hold on a second. What, therefore, is Levi Yitzchak trying to teach us in this text filled with repetition? We should strive to see one another, always, in the best possible light. After all, we are imperfect. We are not angels. We are not able to serve God constantly on account of our flesh and blood needs. We are distracted. Sometimes we place our own selfish needs before the needs of the communities we serve and before God. We wish we could be like angels doing God's will constantly. But as Levi Yitzchak reminds again and again, we are spirits of all flesh, flesh and blood human beings. God sees our imperfections and therefore sees us for who we are, imperfect human beings. Just as God sees imperfection in all of humankind, Moses wants the Israelites' new leader to see them for who they are, imperfect human beings. Can we heed these lessons from our text and our tradition and see one another in this light, striving to be like angels, but recognizing that we are simply imperfect human beings made of flesh and blood? Depending on the situation, we all lead or are led. I imagine that in all situations, we all strive to be like angels, these malachim. We strive to make the right decisions, to lead and be led with clarity, vision, purpose, and meaning. Sometimes we succeed, and sometimes we fail. After all, we are imperfect human beings made of flesh and blood. A lesson from this text is that if God recognizes our imperfections, so too should we recognize the imperfections in ourselves and in those whom we lead and those who lead us as well. We hope and pray that those whom we lead will forgive us for our mistakes and our failings. Especially in this time of COVID, when we are all making hard and complicated decisions for ourselves, our families, our businesses, our practices. We need to appreciate that no decision is perfect, and we will always be able to do better. In these difficult times, let's be gentle with ourselves, with those whom we lead, and with those who lead us. After all, we are not angels who live in a world of perfection. Rather, we are flesh and blood, made from God, but imperfect human beings, nevertheless. Shabbat Shalom. It's my pleasure now to turn the screen over to our president, John Stevens, share some words of greeting, some announcements. John.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is wonderful that we can all be here together to celebrate Shabbat. Rabbi, thank you for your wonderful words and comforting words as we go through lots of decisions as we do this time. And Cantor and your accompanist, thank you again for the beautiful music, and the technology is wonderful to bring such great music to us here at Shirami. I want to thank Avi for leading our table blessings and his family as well for supporting him and giving us just a small glimpse of your bar mitzvah tomorrow. And as a reminder, we are all invited to celebrate with Avi and his family, Mazel Tov. Tomorrow morning, Hevra Torah is at 10:15, which will be led by Alana Hessing. Throughout the week, as you know, if you're feeling stressed, plenty of opportunities for meditation to help you become more mindful, led by Dan Serkin, Cantor Flo Friedman, Steve Ginsburg, Jason Hart, Rabbi Briskin. Check our email for the times and the session that might be most meaningful to you. And if you can't make that session, please rebroadcast it on your own time on our YouTube channel. Help Shirami make an impact. Our blood drive is coming up on July 28th from 11 to 4. If you can register online, make sure you add the keyword Shirami. We have received several entries so far for our Tikkun Olam t-shirt contest, which will really help us make a statement as in what we wear about what we feel and what is important to Shirami. So artists of Shirami, please don't miss out and submit your entries to Eli Shirt by August 1st. We are a Brit Olam congregation, which many of us know. What that means is we've signed on as part of URJ to help take action. One of the things that is really important for all of us, for us in the URJ, is the Pennsylvania Religious Action Center's focus on engagement and voting rights. This is a nonpartisan effort to get out all of our votes, and we want to make sure that we participate in the country. Please refill our pantry. We need tuna rice bottles or juice boxes, any condiments and cake mix. The main entrance drop-off is open Monday through Thursdays in the morning. Last night, you may have missed it, but we had our first film and discussion around Best of Enemies. There are 3 more sessions. You do not have to attend them all. So no worries if you missed last night's. Please join us next Thursday night. This upcoming Tuesday, Lunch and Learn with Rabbi Eric Goldberg will happen at noon. Connecting together. Summer Sharon is on newsstands, websites, and inboxes near you. Our dear friend Donna DeSantis has over 4,000 grocery cards to deliver on July 19th. She is challenging us that she would like to deliver 10,000 or more, just like last time. I'd like you to think about, if you've never tried our grocery cards, give it a shot. Shirami benefits from your tzedakah, and you don't spend a cent more on your groceries. Email Donna who will touchless deliver right to your door. What could be more convenient? The congregational survey we did with URJ is now closed. We will be getting our feedback next Wednesday, so look for more information on that after next week. You may have noticed that Jewish Philly Federation has a similar survey, same questions. They are focused in laser-like on how they can help Philadelphia. So when you see that in your email, please, it takes no time at all to give Jewish Federation your feedback. Rabbi just today spoke to Federation. They are looking for the information to help them make better decisions for the area. And a big thank you to Federation. Out of their COVID-19 emergency fund, they have made a very generous donation to the Rabbi's discretionary fund. And for that, we are very grateful. Wednesday the 15th, you may sing with the Cantor. Thursday the 16th, you may caffeinate with the Rabbi at 9:30 in the morning. And if you want to return to camp during this time, you can do so Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Through the end of August. Now, just a heads up, you may have heard about a recent Zoom bombing incident. We are fortunate that that has not happened yet, but we will be taking additional cybersecurity measures to make sure that we are able to worship and gather in a safe way. Watch your email for more information on that. So on behalf of the Shir board, we wish all of us, all of you, a Shabbat of rejuvenation and filled with shalom, peace. And we hope to see you next week or sooner. Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated. And just want to lift up one thing that John said. The Federation indeed made contributions to discretionary funds of rabbis throughout the community. And the intent is for us to use these funds to help the individuals in our community who are struggling in particular, either to put food on the table, pay some bills, emergency repairs, whatever it may be, especially for those who are underemployed or out of work. I need your help because a lot of times people are reluctant to come to me directly. So if you yourself, or if you know someone who you think is in need, and you feel that you can share that information with me discreetly and privately, please do, because it is my obligation, my responsibility to distribute these funds to folks in our community, and I need your help in a private, discreet way to help identify those folks. So thank you. And again, John is absolutely right. The Federation has been incredibly supportive with this and other endeavors, and we are very grateful to them. As we begin to conclude our service, we turn our thoughts and prayers to those friends and family members who have died in recent days or at this season in years past. On page 292, which corresponds to page 596. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust in the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear. But if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God. And in truth, grief is a great teacher when it sends us back to serve and bless the living. We learn how to counsel and comfort those who, like ourselves, are bowed with sorrow. We learn when to keep silent in their presence and when a word will assure them of our love and concern. Thus, even when they are gone, the departed are with us, moving us to live as in their higher moments they themselves wished to live. We remember them now. They live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. We remember those who died in the past week for whom we are on the first 7 days of mourning. We remember Vincent Petrellis, uncle of Eric Kolbrenner, and Selma Schwartz, great aunt of Alan Kravitz. We continue to observe the first 30 days of remembrance for Jack Orber. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yortzeiten will fall next week and whom we remember by name tonight. Mary Abrams, Maida Bader, Helen Barish, Margaret Bieber, Samuel Boschieri, Jack Brilliant, Marguerite Buckman, Emmanuel Cohen, Etta Fleischer, Oline Gale, Bernice Grossberg, Saul Grossman, Sylvia Cohen, Samuel Laster, Zaki Maleh, Tema Moar, Harold Oppenheim, Judith Oppenheim, Lila Paul, Norman Paul, Mary Rajewski, Stuart Rotkowitz, Doris Leibel Sachs, Lillian Salzberg, Benjamin Schwartz, Goldie Scheinberg, Leonard Silverman, Leonard Snyderman, Jack Solomon, Erna Strauss, Isidore Schreber, Verda Young, and Morton Zaretsky. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat and I neglected to share the person's name, I invite you please to unmute yourself for a moment and share the name aloud. You don't have to raise your hand.
Miles
Bachman.
Diane Greenberg.
Matt
Martha Hess.
Bobby Goldberg.
Robert Kennedy.
Susan Schlossberg.
It's in the other room.
Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of all our righteous ones be for a blessing. If you are saying Kaddish for someone, I invite you to unmute yourselves. I invite everyone to stand if you're in a place where you can do so. And we'll join in saying Kaddish, unmuted for those who are saying it and those who aren't, just if you're just joining us. And we'll join together. Yit Gadal v'yit Chadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma Divrach Birutei Be'amlit Malchutei B'chaye Chon Uvyome Chon Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael Agala Uvizman Karib Imru Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah Am Lamei Almaya Yit Barach V'yit Tach V'yit Par V'yit Romam V'yit Taseh V'yit Hadar V'yit Aleh V'yit Halal Shemed V'yit Le'ela V'yikata V'shirata Ushbechata V'nechemata Da'amiram V'yuma V'yum Amen Yehei Shlama Rabba Min B'chayim Aleinu V'Al Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Romav Shalom Aleinu Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'Romav Ya'aseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen.
We'll conclude with Hallelujah. Let all that breathes praise Adonai, hallelujah. You can find the line on page 339, which corresponds to page 643, the second one from the bottom.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Feel free to unmute yourselves. Wish everyone Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
You want to stick
Shalom.
around for an Oneg breakout room? For an Oneg breakout room, just hang on for a minute and we'll break
Shabbat
to
Shalom.
breakout
Shabbat
groups.
shalom.
Folks,
Shalom, everyone.
Mazel tov, Rabbi.
Thank you. Good to see everyone.
Hi, Eve. Shabbat shalom.
Mazel tov,
Shabbat
Rabbi.
Shalom.
Bye, shalom.
Hello, Karen, how are you?
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
One of everybody.
All right. So you folks all want to go into Oneg, right? So you're still here, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because like when I break up the rooms and like 6 people leave, it makes it really lonely for the 2 who are there. So
go.
So I'm gonna go into breakout rooms. Again, this is totally random, okay? So I'm gonna put folks, let's see. We're gonna 2 breakout rooms.
And somehow.
10 in each one, all right?
Bingo.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow afternoon, rain or shine, which means inside or outside for us, so. So just hit go into the breakout room. It'll stay open as long as folks are there. Mom and Dad, why don't you stay out of the room? All right, there you go. Everyone's in. Jody, you're free to go. Thank you. I mean, you can hang on, but hey there. You guys good? You can talk. Oh no, you gotta unmute yourself. Are you on mute? Can't hear you. You have to turn up your volume. Don't worry about Jerry Phil.
Did I unmute?
You did, yeah. Is there background noise there?
What? Are you talking to me?
Yeah, why do I hear background noise there?
Is
Did
that
you
thing
go?
working, Jerry?
No, because you went into that, you went into that breakout room.
Jerry, is there something talking on that? Do you want to turn it off so we can? Turn it off? We've got the TV on with
I got the TV on? Uh-oh.
no, with the chat room or something. I would turn it off.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm moving you to move to just turn that one off. Okay, there you go. Okay, good.
Okay, so
just end on the other computer. Just end that call. Just sign out. Go to the lower right and hit end on that computer, Dad.
Can you see it where it says sign out, Jerry?
Good. Perfect. All right, you got it.
How can you see that?
Because the screen went away. There's a different screen. So. Hi.
Oh. I guess it's out. It's out. I hope I don't have trouble tomorrow. Am I going to have trouble?
That's why we did the pre-recording.
Let me ask you something. Was I on unmute the whole time?
The service? Just not.
Yeah, because I didn't see the red thing in the corner.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I didn't hear you. I think you were unmuted, but you didn't talk. So as long as you don't talk, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I was careful.
Yeah, as long as you don't, Dad will be like, what? I can't hear him. I can't see him. So I don't know why you couldn't mute, but I got to get off of YouTube. Sorry.